Hello and good afternoon, participants. I'm Shakir Ahmed, Author BT Electronics and Hardware from Jammu and Kashmir. Today, I am going to present about how to make a stylus. Why do we need it? About the physiology of our mobile phones. The contents of my presentation will be an overview of our mobile system, how our mobile system works, how our screen works, how it records a touch, what is it made up of, what is a stylus and why do we need it, the reasons why do we need it, and then different methods to make a stylus. I have shortlisted some of the simplest, easiest, and the most economical methods to make a stylus. First of all, let me tell you what a mobile screen is and what is it made up of. Our mobile screen is made up of three layers, one upon the other. The top layer, which we can feel, which we can see, is the toughened glass. It is not a simple glass, it is a toughened glass. Below that is the capacitive touch screen, and after that is an LED display. It's actually an OLED display, organic LED. Now, the toughened glass, this is not a normal glass. It is very hard and 5 times stronger than a normal glass. How is it stronger or how is it made stronger? You might have dropped your phone most of the times, but it didn't break up all the time. There is a reason behind that. Let me tell you, let me show you by drawing it. We know that glass is made up of a lot of components. The main important are silicon dioxide and sodium carbonate, SiO2 and NaCO3. That means in a crystal of glass, there are sodium ions. There are sodium ions present and some other components as well. What we do is that we replace these sodium ions with potassium ions. We replace the sodium part with the potassium part. The size of the potassium ions is greater than that of sodium ions. Thus, the potassium ions which replace the sodium ions compress this glass structure and make it hard. It is like if you make 3 to 4 people to sit in the back of your seat. Let us assume you make three thin, average sized people to sit in the back seat of your SUV or your car. They will sit, but they will fit loosely and they will move when the car moves. But what if you fit 3 fat people in the back of the car? Same is the thing happening with our glass. As you can see, the sodium ions have been replaced. In the first picture, there are sodium ions. Na is for sodium. This is for the non-electronic students. Then there is potassium replacing the sodium. K is replacing Na, which is giving a compressed structure to our glass. This is all about the toughened glass. Then there is the capacitive touch screen. But before that, let me tell you what LED displays. LED display is simply where we get the icons. It is a monitor part of our phone. Works simply as a TV. You get the videos, the icons, the icons of different apps like WhatsApp, Facebook, messaging, and other things. You get images at 25 frames per second frequency, making it a video. Then after that, we have the most important part of our mobile phone is the touch screen. There are 2 types of touch screens. One is the capacitive touch screen and the other is the resistive touch screen. What are those in details? It is not the topic for this time, but why is our mobile phone having a capacitive touch screen? Why is it called a capacitive touch screen? Because it acts as a capacitor. For the non-electronic students, it will be very difficult to apprehend. So I have prepared a very simple method going by a layman way. It is a topic for another time. Since we mostly have non-electronics participants in this meeting, let me go by a layman way. The screen is made up of indium tin oxide. This capacitive touch screen part is made up of indium tin oxide. There are 2 types of lines in it. Let me draw it for you. Suppose this is our mobile. From top to bottom, there are the vertical lines which are called driving lines. These driving lines continuously draw current through them. There is a continuous flow of current in them. And then there are the horizontal lines. These are called sensing lines. The driving lines and the sensing lines. What these sensing lines do is they sense the passage of current through the driving lines. Let us suppose that there is 5 ampere current flowing through these driving lines. Each of the driving line contains 5 ampere current. Now, if we have to touch our mobile phone here, let's assume we touch our mobile phone here. The current in this driving line will change because we know that human body has its own electric field. It has its own resistance, and it can draw its own current. Then assume, it is just for the assumption that the current in this driving line changed from 6 ampere to 5 ampere to 6 ampere. Now, this sensing line sensed that there is a change of current. There is a change from 5 ampere to 6 ampere. It immediately reports the change to the processor, and the processor records this touch. This is as simple to be understood. Now, as you can see in the image included in this slide, the blue lines are the driving lines, and the red line is the sensing line. The red dot in between has been recorded as a touch. Now let us come to the stylus. What stylus is? Stylus is simply a conductive pen which draws static current from our body to the mobile screen to record a touch. Now we have seen that unless and until we touch our mobile screen with our finger, or we let the electric current from our finger to pass onto the mobile screen, it won't work till then. So why do we need a stylus? Touch screens don't work, as I already told you, unless there is a change in current. If we are wearing hand gloves in the months of winter here in Kashmir, the climate gets very chilling cold, so we have to wear gloves, or somewhere else in the country. But the gloves are made up of fiber. The fiber is an insulator and it doesn't conduct electricity. So what we have to do is that we need something to get the electricity from our hand to pass on to the screen to record the touch. In other case scenario, if our hands are dirty and we can't touch our phone, but we need to make some important calls. For that purpose, we can use the stylus as well. There are other options like Siri, Alexa, but not everybody own a fantasy phone. So in such cases, stylus is an only option. Stylus has a very useful, useful use, I can say, in virtual classes in e-learning. You can use your screen as your virtual whiteboard or blackboard. You can write with your fingers as well, but what if you have to teach your students some large expressions of Faraday's current laws or some mathematical equation? You can't use your fingers for that because the finger occupies a lot of space, and the space in your mobile screen is very less. Now, thus, you need a fine pointer, and a stylus is of course one. Stylus is an option. This was all about the physiology of our mobile phone and mobile phone screen and a stylus. Now let us go to the practical part. For that, I need to stop sharing the screen. A cotton swab, an earbud, or a cotton bud, what we call it. What you need to do is you just need to dip it in the water, dip it, slide in the water, then wipe the water off. You need not to make it dripping wet, slight wet, and your stylus is ready. Make sure your finger is touching the wet part. What you have to do is dip your earbud or cotton swab in the water, make it a little bit wet, then you can write with it. Wait, let me show you. Let me write on my sister's phone. Here you go. We can write anything using the cotton. We turned it into stylus. Here, hi. Anything, world. Whatever you want to like, you can write it. You can try it. What you have to do, get a cotton bud, get it dipped in the water, wipe the water off, make sure you are touching the wet part of the cotton swab with your hand, and after that your stylus is ready. The other technique, I have shortlisted two of the techniques. The other technique is you don't need any water for that. What you need is a pencil, scissors, some tape, and a small aluminum foil. Let's cut a strap of aluminum foil. What you need to do is wrap this aluminum foil on the back of your pencil. Wrap it tightly so that it doesn't lay off. Okay, your stylus is ready. Nothing you don't have to do anything. Wrap the aluminum foil on the back of your pencil, and you can use some tape on the back side to fix it so that it doesn't lay off. Nothing to do much. You don't need anything extra, just an aluminum foil, a pencil, and a small piece of tape. Let us see if it works. Here we go. You can write on it if it is visible. Hi. It has turned your pencil into a stylus. Hi, Laksh. Here you go. It is writing perfectly and properly. These are the simplest of the two techniques which we have shortlisted to present in this presentation. You can try it yourself in the live session, and if there is any question, you can ask me. Thank you.